Howell. Good morning and welcome.
Right. Kia, my name is Azaria and I'm 15. I'm year 11 at Cashmere High School and I do debating there. And I'm also an executive member of the Christchurch Youth Council, but all of the opinions I say are my own. So this is my first submission to the City Council. I have done one to a select committee in Parliament, so yeah. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak to you guys today. My first thought is on the policy of free swimming for those who find costs a barrier, and I believe that this policy will help out our community. I think it's a good way to ensure everyone has a bit of fun in the community, and I'm aware that the Wellington City Council added that spectators could attend pools for free, and I believe was considering free lessons for under 5s. I think this is something Christchurch could also consider doing, and it's a great idea and would get more people active in our community. But I will outline how this is not a priority for the council, but still would be beneficial. Another policy I would want council to implement would be a city council bus to school plan, and this plan would subsidise buses to and from schools. Personally, Mum drives me to school every day, which I understand is detrimental to our air quality and overall Christchurch environment, not to mention the fact that the Christchurch air quality is very bad already. Taking the bus would be too expensive every day with the current cost, but with this bus to schools plan, I will be using public transport to get to school, and I'm sure many others would too. Also, if council are willing to subsidise swimming costs, then they should be able to put some money to buses, because some people have to bus to work and school, but you don't really have to go swimming. It's not a necessary thing. So this would favour the environment and the community, and more people would use our public transport system, which will decrease the Christchurch carbon footprint. This money could come from an ECAN budget, from donations, grants, changing the council budget a bit and spending less on matters that aren't important, such as the swimming costs. I recently went to the Environment Canterbury Youth Summit and the young people there agreed with this plan, and it would be great to see this happen. Also, New Zealand is seen as a clean, green place for people, so let's make this happen and implement this policy. Since the recent Port Hills fires, our city also hasn't been as beautiful. I live in Westmoreland and I had to be evacuated for the fires, and I really think we should rebuild the Christchurch City Adventure Park. It got more people excited about Christchurch and there were more things to do here. People from outside of Christchurch travel here to use the park. It was a successful community project, and if we rebuild the park, eventually it will get a big profit for our city, and even more people will come here to experience it. Natural disasters have ensured that there's not a whole lot to do in our city anymore, and if we fund these sorts of projects for our community, then there will definitely be more people excited about living in Christchurch. I was at an event last year called the Youth Action Plan for Christchurch, where young people like me got to say what policies and projects we would want to see in Christchurch, and I came up with 3 main ones that I believe would benefit our community. My first idea would be a place in the central city where young people could get information about job opportunities and also get support for mental health and well-being. I believe it should be near the bus exchange in the central city so that it would be easy for young people to get to. There could be a notice board about upcoming jobs, classes, and things to improve well-being, as well as tips on stress with exams and similar things. It would help out the young people in our community because we sometimes feel scared to talk about things like that. There could be people hired to talk to the people who show up there, to give them career advice and mental health support. That hopefully doesn't sound too controversial, does it? But my next idea could be, though. It's to have blank walls in the city designed for people to do graffiti and street art. This idea would be the right thing to do as a council to mitigate graffiti problems in the city. Why? Because vandalism is a problem. If it is in places it shouldn't be, such as on the sides of businesses in the city, then it needs to be gone. With these walls designed for art, people would stop doing graffiti in places it shouldn't be. Sure, this would not end all vandalism completely, but it definitely is a step in the right direction. The walls could be repainted white as often as needed by workers employed by the council. We could even hold competitions, and I believe adding these walls will make our city more vibrant as well as mitigating the issue of vandalism in Christchurch. Almost no one would want to do their art in places it shouldn't be, since they will have legal and supportive places to do it. The only people who would continue to vandalize would be people who want to break the laws, but sometimes these people just want to practice their art, which shouldn't be a crime. Catering to people who do graffiti and street art, having it in a legal way will mitigate the problem substantially. The third plan I came up with was to have a community vegetable and fruit garden in the city. Christchurch is known as the Garden City, and we should stay true to this. The garden could be included in the botanical gardens in the city and would promote healthy eating. It really wouldn't cost too much to get this going, and donations would definitely be welcome. Healthy eating is the right way to go as a city. The vegetables and fruits that are not picked can be given to local soup kitchens, city missions, and homeless shelters. The project that I would put off for now would be the hot saltwater pools project in New Brighton, and also the parking building in favour of buses and public transports. Oh, sorry. Now, I'm not saying I disagree with the idea, but I think that the money could be used in a better way. Yeah, that's near the end of my submission now, so thank you so much for your time. It's really great to be able to speak to all you guys here, and I'll accept any questions, and I'm also sorry that I went over time. So, yeah.
Well, that's probably not a good reason to have questions, but just but to say to you that there is an Otakaro Orchard Community Garden and Food Hub, which I think we need to connect you up to. So,
all right,
because it sounds like you're thinking exactly on the same lines, and I'm sure that you would love to get involved and help that be delivered. So,
yeah.
All right, good. Right, we're going to adjourn for morning tea, and thank you very much for your submission. And so we're going to adjourn for morning tea. We're just running just a slightly over. So if we could be back here at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, 10 minutes. There's food out, tea out the back or tea out the front.